place in your G-spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best nights of your life. Your host, Jaye and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J-spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J spot where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share a tiny portion of this evening with you as you all ride home, cook your dinner, and do all that other good ish. Thank you for allowing me to join you. You all, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Listen, you all, I want to stress YouTube. Please do me a favor, you all, right now. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe our channel. Guys, help us get our 1,000 subscribers. We are almost there, but it is too many of you all on Facebook. I need y'all to come on over and join us on YouTube because there's so much ish on YouTube that is not on Facebook. So y'all may want to check it out. Y'all missing out on all these reels and all that good ish that's going on. So check us out on YouTube, the J Spot Radio. Guys, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. Listen, the hot topics. Let me just go ahead and get started with this ish. Now, listen. I already know how. Listen, I believe that we are living in just a bash. We're just living in a bashing day and time, and I can't even say male bashing because we're beyond just male bashing. I mean, we're bashing. Men are being bashed, women are being bashed, but it's only one race. It seems to be only black folk bashing each other. Black folk, black men can't stand black women can't stand black men. When does this ish end? It's just like every time you open up these social media apps, it's just some new foolery. It's some new bull junkie coming through the pipeline simply because we have differences of opinions. We can have differences of opinions. That's what makes people people. What's so wrong with why can't we respect, my favorite saying, I like to say this. I'm going to agree to disagree. When I agree to disagree, it don't mean that you're right. It don't mean that I'm right. It means that we're going to table this discussion because clearly we are not going to agree on what the said outcome should be. We're not going to agree. We are not seeing things on one accord. We are not at this point. And that's okay. That's where the agree. Okay, I'm going to agree to disagree. So there's still a disagreement there, but you know what? I respect your position, respect my position. But oh baby, not today. Not today. We live in a day and age where everything is just listen, bash. And this first conversation and this first topic is going to definitely take a whole lot of you all there. So we kind of touched upon this last week, but there was a hot topic in the store in the news, so I wanted to kind of just piggyback on this hot topic because it's trending. So we talked about last week who's responsible for preventing unwanted pregnancy. Who's responsible for preventing that? So now we have a young NBA player, and he is in a situation where he had a baby that with a young lady, and he told the young lady that he did not want any kids. However, he still proceeded to enter the lily of the valley. He entered, okay? He did not protect himself from the unwanted pregnancy. So here's the thing. Here's what we got to understand. And here's where we have to take accountability, both people. You said that you didn't want any kids, sir. So why didn't you protect yourself from having kids? You didn't protect yourself. So therefore, now you have a kid. So now he went to child support court. You know, she took him to child support court, and she was ordered a sizable amount of child support. Well, Famo said, listen, you're not about to get me for no 18 years because I told you I didn't want to have any kids and I have no intentions on being a part of this child's life. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Watch how I run this. He paid his whole child support up front. Yes, baby, y'all heard me right. This young man, and I applaud him for that. This young man paid his whole child support up. The 18 years, baby, he paid that upfront child support over with. No more responsibility. Is that really so, sir? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You may not be financially responsible, but you still are emotionally responsible for a child that you created. It does not matter. And here's what, and listen, fellas, I want to know, what do you all think about that? Just because your financial obligations are done, what happens in a situation where a man says, you know what, listen, I don't want any kids, but you didn't do anything to protect yourself against having any kids. So now you want a kid that you didn't want. Do you get to have a temper tantrum and say, you know, I didn't want any kids and I'm not, and you can't force me to take care of my kid? What kind of ish is that? Yo, fam, man up. You stuck it in there. You ejaculated. You did what you did. Now you have a kid. Did you, whether you, listen, if you didn't want it, you shouldn't have went in there. Am I saying that she bears no responsibility? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, just because you didn't want a kid, but you still did the deed to get a kid, then you need to man up and take care of that kid. That's what I'm saying. Man up and take care of the kid. It don't work like that. This is not a pair of shoes or a bag of chips that you just get to say, oh well, I didn't want any kids. She knew I didn't want any kids, and now she still kept the baby. So what was she supposed to do with it? Get an abortion or put it up for adoption? What was she supposed to do? Because you didn't want no kids. If you didn't want any kids, sir, you sure didn't wash your children down. You didn't wash them off of your hands. Guess what? You skeeted. So when you skeet, you have to take responsibility. You don't get to just skate. Oh well. Oh well. What kind of issue is that? Man up. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. That is not being a man at all. That is your flesh and blood, whether you wanted it or not. If she got to be stuck with it, then why aren't you? Maybe you could say, Jay, she knew I didn't want any kids. Well, guess what? You knew that you didn't want any kids either, but you still participated in the act. So therefore, you don't get to say, "Oh well, she trapped me." No, you went in there. You went in there. I believe in this. Do you think that this is the type of chick that will trap you? If you think that, then why are you sleeping with her? Why are you sleeping with her unprotected? Why are you not protecting yourself? That's the part that is a trip to me. So you get the baby, you make a baby, now you big mad, you got rocks in your jaws. Now she everything but a child of God because you got a baby. Because now you got a baby that you didn't want, and respectfully so. Respectfully, I can respect the fact that you did not want that kid. And I'm not saying that you don't have a right to not want a kid. What I'm saying is, once the deed is done and the child is created, yeah, you no longer have a right to say what you wanted or what you did not want because you participated in the act. Hey, Pretty Sasha. Pretty Sasha saying, wait, I'm sorry, Cedric is saying both. Cedric is also saying he was smart, and I'm figuring that's in reference to him paying up the child support, which I think that was definitely a smart deal as well. Pretty Tasha is saying exactly. Cedric is saying morally very selfish decision, financially very smart. Absolutely, I definitely agree with that, Cedric. That because he paid the child support up, he saved himself a lot of heartache and pain with as far as dealing with her needing, whatever it is could be financially for the baby. But at the end of the day, sir, your flesh and blood is out there and you need to man up. Like, that's just point blank. I know, and he's a young man, so hopefully he comes around before the kid, becomes 18 or whatever. But this is why we have so many broken homes. This is why we have so many broken young African American people because of ish like that. Your daddy didn't want you. How are you even thinking about how that kid feels? Stop looking at what the mother did, because she gonna have, trust me, she's gonna have to deal with her own wrath for doing something like that. So I'm not saying she's not responsible. For those that want to say, oh, so you said, oh, see that's what it is, see, women just don't want to have any accountability. Listen, take the bubble gum out of your ears, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying both people that laid down and they enjoyed the deed. Now there's a child created as a result. It doesn't matter whether you said you don't want any kids. She knew I didn't want no kids. Sir, you knew you didn't want any kids. Why didn't you protect yourself? When are we going to talk about that? When are we going to talk about these unplanned pregnancies and these unwanted pregnancies? When are we going to talk about that? When a man is supposed, where's your responsibility in this? Everything is always shifted on the woman. Again, she is responsible. She is responsible. It is her body. She is responsible. But sir, you don't get off that free. You don't get off that easy, because you were there. You skeeted, you listen, you plowed up the club with your bodily fluids. Now you've created a child. You don't get to say, "Oh, she know I didn't want any kids." If you didn't want kids that bad, why did you not protect yourself? Why did you not protect your own best interests? You can't keep throwing off responsibility, because again, this is a human, this is a child. So now we'll have another child, another black child that will grow up without a father. Now we'll have another father over there thinking that somebody did him wrong because she got pregnant. Sir, if you hadn't have did the deed without protection, then she wouldn't have been pregnant. Jay, I use protection. I use protection. She did this, she did that. Then guess what? You chose the wrong person to be intimate with. You did. At the end of the day, both people are responsible. Is she low down for allegedly trapping you? Absolutely. 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 But at the end of the day, now the focus is no longer on what you did versus what she did and who's responsible for this child being created. The question and then the focus needs to shift to, man, I'm a father now. I have a kid. I didn't want to be a father, but man, I got to man up. Do y'all know how many women out here that didn't want to be mothers, but now you skeeted and now she got a baby? She the one got to go through all these doggone changes with her body. You paid 1 point whatever million, and then you think that you just get to run on off and act like you don't have any responsibility. To me, that is so low vibrating. That's a trifling way to handle this situation. And to be honest, it screams childish. It screams very childish. Jay, are you saying, so you saying that it's wrong for a man not to want any kids? Not saying that at all. He has He had, let me say this, he had every right to not want to have any kids. Cedric, you're saying it was protected, but she still got pregnant. Again, it's both parties are responsible because the only, what's, say it with me, class, what's the only, there's two ways to ensure that she does not get pregnant. Okay. You don't do it with her, and wash your kids down in your hands. You enjoy yourself. Let your hand give you all the pleasure you want, and you don't have to worry about nobody getting pregnant. You don't have to worry about nobody's pill not working. You don't have to worry about nobody's condom not working. But I think that it's immature to think that because you're using protection, you still have to think in the back of your mind, this is not 100%. So how are you getting mad because you were the 0.2% that the birth control pill didn't work with, or you were the 0.5% that the condom didn't work with? Why are you upset? So was she just as shocked as you were that she ended up pregnant? And no, could it be that she didn't want a kid either, but now she finds herself pregnant, and now some men make it seem like it's so easy. Listen, they holler, get an abortion. You say that ish like it's like going, like you just going to flaws and spit it out. What the heck? That's a whole person. A whole person. No matter what these commercials and what these people try to say, listen, a little slime, a little piece size thing eventually turns into a full-fledged human. So how does it turn into a human? If it wasn't already human before, it's always human. So no matter what these commercials and infomercials and all this other ish try to say to make people, to, cushion, cushion the blow for your conscience or whatever it is, it's still a person. It's still a human. And again, protection, this stuff is not 100%. You may have had some strong soldiers that said, give us free. And they broke through the barrier and said, you know what? We're going to fertilize this egg. Yeah, the hormones that she's taking from that birth control pill, it wasn't strong enough for your soldiers. Pat yourself on the back, sir. You got some young, strong, viral soldiers. And now you are that baby's father. And you should absolutely, positively be ashamed of yourself for thinking that you can just cut a check and that's it. I cut a check, that's it. Pretty Tasha, you're saying yes, it's a lot of low down, sorry men out there. Again, I agree with that, Pretty Tasha. But again, listen, I'm not gonna put it all on the men because listen, we got some low down, trifling chicks out there too. Now I'm like, listen, I know chicks that listen. You knew the dude didn't want no kids, and you orchestrated that pregnancy. Is that man still responsible for manning up and being a father? I think that he is. Because again, you willingly participated in the deed. No, you did not get involved. You didn't lay with her expecting to have a baby. You did not. That may not have been the case. But it still does not stop the end result, which a child was created, which means that now both of you all are responsible. So I hope that, this young man really, takes into consideration his actions and how this is going to impact his child. Because again, we have enough going on in our community. We don't need any added foolishness to this bull junkie. We do not need any more of that. Pretty Tasha, you're saying there was a beautiful young lady at the age of 24 that had an 8-month-old, and the guy unalived her. Again, am I saying that this is not, look, this is not the way to go. This is not the route to go. Like for me, like a dude is saying, you know what? I don't want any kids. I don't want any kids. See, I believe it's hypocritical to say I don't want any kids, but yet you don't want to use protection. That to me, that's very hypocritical to say. But my mind thought and my frame of thought is that if you are involved with the man that is saying he doesn't want kids and you still willingly sleep with him despite knowing that he doesn't want any kids, don't think that expect this type of result that this young man just did, or expect him to just totally ghost, expect to be a single mom. Expect that each time you lay with this man and he's told you that he doesn't want any kids, don't think that your South Virginia, them peaches and cream, is going to be that good that it's going to make him change his mind about wanting that baby. Again, I will never understand how a man can deny being there for his own flesh and blood. I will never understand that. And guess what? I never want to understand that. That's something that I never want to say, you know what? I can understand why he feels like that. I can understand why he's saying that. I can understand that. I never want to be on the understanding end of that because, again, to me, I just think that it's one of the coldest things that a person can do. And for me, if a man can do that to his own child, how can I trust my heart to you? How can, as a woman, that's what I'm thinking. How can I'm not safe with you if your own flesh and blood, listen, if you will turn your back on your own, what more will you do to me? If you can do that to your child, should I rest assured and say, you know what? That's because she knew he ain't want no kids. And if you a woman that can sit there and justify some low down ish like that, but then you get played in the process because he's doing the same thing to you. Because I'm a firm believer, if a man don't take care of his kids and he don't love his kids, how can he love a woman properly? You can't even love what you created. To me, that will say you are not capable of, through thick and thin, good and bad, up and down. You wouldn't even be capable of honoring your any type of vows because you can't even honor your commitment. Jay, what commitment? He said he didn't want any kids. The commitment that you made, that once you released into this woman and it resulted in you and her creating a child, that commitment. That's the commitment that we're talking about. If you don't have enough integrity, if you don't have enough character to honor that and respect that, I don't expect, I expect you to treat me the same way that you treat that you created. If a man doesn't treat his kids right, I have no expectations than you to treat me better than what you've created. What do you guys think about that statement? If a man doesn't treat his kids right, or if a woman doesn't treat her kids right, do you expect them to treat you better? If you do, how do you expect them to love you more when they can't even, or love you when they don't even love and cherish what they created? Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not saying that we don't get upset with our children. We do. But to just completely not show them any type of love, how can we do that as parents and still say that we love them, but we don't check on them? We don't, have any communication with them. We don't do any of that. But then if you see a person that does that, would you expect any more? Me, I would expect, if you treat your kids low down, I know that you have some low down treatment for me. And that's just what it is. So if I put myself in position to deal with that type of stuff, I'm going to always say, you know what? I went into this expecting this because I saw how you were as a father. I saw how you handle situations with your kids. So therefore, I didn't really have much expectations from you doing the right thing or even handling things with me in a better position or a better way, because I saw how you treated your kids. And if you can be in a situation and be okay with that, then just know, you know what? Sometimes you got to chalk it up to the game. If you stayed around and you got pregnant by a dude and you saw that he wasn't even treating the kids that he already got right. And then again, some of the fellas, I know this could be some you guys are saying, he gonna treat the kids that he wanted. He treat those kids right. Again, you still a bastard. In my opinion, you still a bastard because again, that's your child. That kid had nothing to do with the way it was created because again, you wouldn't be Johnny on the spot had you not went in and left your bodily fluids in this woman. Then you wouldn't wouldn't have to worry about having a kid out here. She know I didn't want no kids. She didn't know she got pregnant on purpose. Duh. What you think happens when bodily fluids mix? Well, she said she was on the pill. Duh. You still went in. You listen. If we just keep this in the back of our minds, enter and engage in this activity at your own risk. Why are we not like, come on, we're not 2-year olds. Like, we're not two anymore. If you have unprotected relations, or even if you do, the relation is protected, it's not. Nothing is 100% to prevent pregnancy during the act. The only 100% way to avoid pregnancy, diseases, and all this other ish is to not do the do or self pleasure yourself or something. Listen, have a swallow your kids. I don't know, something. But if you go in there, there's always a possibility. And we need to definitely accept that and respect that and stop acting like that's not the true nature. That's not the true nature of this game. Like, we just get to go in and do whatever it is that we want to do. So you get to make a kid. And so she know I didn't want no kids. I gave her the money to get rid of it, and she chose to keep it. So now I'm gonna pay my child support up, and I'm not gonna be a father. Fam, you still got a whole lot of growing to do, and may you reap what you sow. That's all I can say is may you reap what you sow. May that child not grow up to hate you and resent you. May you not need a kidney or anything from that child, because again, if we look in the Black community, this type of thinking, this type of behavior is running rampant. And look at what's happening. Look at all these young kids being slaughtered in the streets every day. Where do you think that type of stuff? No love. Your parents don't love you. The streets doggone sure don't love you. Where do you think this ish starts from? It starts in the home. It starts in the home. So the next time you decide, because I don't, if you say, Jay, you know what? Do you feel sorry for this? I don't. I don't. I don't like that it happens. The only person that I feel sorry for is the baby that will not have a father. That's the only person that I feel sorry for in the situation, because the child did not ask to be here. It did not. Cedric, you're saying I have no respect or a man or woman like that. Leo, hey, how you doing? You're saying the horizontal mumbo, right? Absolutely. He went and they did the horizontal mumbo, done swung off the chandeliers. Now she pregnant. Now she done had a baby. Now he big mad. Leo is also saying his pullout game was off that night. LOL. Raising bastard kids. Now they out here shooting and killing. Absolutely. And that's the sad part. It's just like, okay, it's another Black child that will grow up without having the love and the care and the involvement of a father. Yes, you did something noble by and smart by paying up all the child support up front. We'll give you kudos for that. But the same way you just got kudos for doing that, and then the statement that you made saying that this is all that she'll get, this child will never see you or never have any involvement from you, or you'll never love or acknowledge the child, that just overshadowed everything that you just did, in my opinion, in regards to paying up that child support. But hey, again, you reap what you sow. So you do all this stuff in your young years. And you know what, another thing that I thought about you all is, you can't be surprised, like, people when you get older, listen, you're gonna pay for the ish that you did. You're gonna pay for it, right, wrong, or indifferent. Karma is coming. Karma has your name on it. So as much as possible, try to do right by people as much as possible. Again, it's not the ideal situation, but again, you put your little self, you stuck your little worm in there, and now, again, here you go. Now, again, for those that may want to say, Jay, are you just saying that what about the woman responsibility? Again, they both are responsible. And I'm not going to change on that. Oh, well, what if listen, I know plenty of guys that this happened to. Listen, I didn't want no kid with, hey, let me ask you something, bro. You went over there, right? Once that DNA says you are that baby's pappy, I'm like, man, all I can be like, dad, man, dog, you got this. Woo! All we can do at that point is try to help you do some damage control, because that's your baby. So you don't want to be around her, but you gonna leave a kid with her. Wait, what? Oh, she crazy. She off balance, but you gonna leave your kid over there? Okay. All right. Keep on. Again, you reap what you sow. I'm not saying that she's right. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying he's, because he dead wrong. Again, the only thing that this brother is right about somewhat is that he paid his child support up front, paid it all off. But outside of that, like, I don't have anything else positive to say about that. And I just hope that some grown men, some seasoned men, just get around this brother and really rally with him and tell him the importance of manning up, and talking to him about the importance of manning up and taking care of your responsibility. Because again, you did the deed. The baby is here. It's a cute little baby too. Cute little thing. I'm like, listen, you probably need to have DNA, because woo. Because the way he look and the way that baby look, I'm just like, ooh. But the baby is a little cutie. But I just hope in this situation that the seasoned men that take care of their responsibilities, I hope that they would get together, rally around this young man, and definitely talk with him on the importance of being a father. Listen, I'll talk to you, sir, young man. It's important. Black fathers matter. Okay. Fathers matter, but I'm talking to Black folks, because this seems to be prevalent in our community. Black fathers matter. Now, listen, you all, speaking of Black fathers, there's a story. There was a Georgia father. He was arrested after leaving his children, ages 1, 6, and 10, alone at McDonald's while he went on a job interview. What do you all think about that? Do you all think that he should have been arrested? This father, he's like, listen, he done dropped the kids off at McDonald's. Now listen, I already know he done, listen, I can already see. It was a 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old. The 10-year-old, so I don't think he should have been arrested. Okay? Because the 10-year-old, is, big enough. It's a 1 year. He straddled the fence, he straddled the fence with it. But he left him in a public place. He probably bought him something to eat, done gave the 10-year-old instructions. Listen, I'm finna run over here. I got an interview. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to sit here. I'm gonna tell y'all who alerted and who caused all the problems. I'm gonna tell you. It was the 1-year-old. I can already tell you it was the 1-year-old. Because see, some of them little kids, listen, them little kids, they so quick. You know, they been took off in a hot second. And a 10-year-old cannot handle a 1-year-old. Cedric, you're saying lock his up. Leo, you're saying left your kids at McDonald's. What the heck? And I can understand where you all are coming from with that. But I don't see it that way. Would I be upset? Absolutely. But it said something else to me. It said that, listen, he went for a job interview. Okay, he got the kids. Listen, maybe he like, okay, listen, he calling the baby mama and he got one of them baby mamas that it always seemed like it's always the mismatch. You got the good dude and the trifling chick that's the baby mama. It always seems like that's the combo that's out here in the world. Good dude, good father, good baby daddy, trifling baby mama, trifling chick. So he calling her. She know he got a job interview. She ain't answering the phone. Now he got to make a choice. Do I miss out on this job interview? He probably got a couple of little felonies. He like, listen, I need this job. I'm on child support. If I don't pay this child support, I'm gonna be locked. It's so many reasons. It's so many things that could be his story on why he did that. So that's why I'm saying I don't think that he should go to jail. Again, the desperation of leaving your kids in a public place to go to an interview. He didn't leave the kids in McDonald's to go trick off with a chick. He left the kids to go to an interview. Again, I'm not saying that. Listen, would I want you to leave my kids up? I would go crazy. I'd be like, why you just didn't call me? I would have got him. Where's his support system? Again, see, you all think it's so easy being a single parent, but it's not. It's not. So now you're seeing from a single father's standpoint. What did he do? Listen what he did. And again, I'm not mad at people that are saying, you know what, Jay, that's neglect. That's dumb parenting. Somebody would have watched them kids. We don't know what type of family he got. What kind of it's so many different variables. But when I heard that, to me, I saw the desperation in the act of him making a decision to leave his kids there. Would I say it's careless? I wouldn't even say it's careless. I would say that it was a decision made out of desperation. I need this job to take care of these kids. Again, he didn't leave them there because he went over here. He went out on a date. He went to get this done. He went for a job interview. Do you know how desperate you have to be in a situation where you know that you need that job? You ain't got nobody else to depend on. Because here's the thing. Let me tell y'all something. Mothers are going through this all the time. This is the story of a lot of mothers' lives. You got stuff to do. You got these kids. Don't nobody listen, because we let's be honest, we don't have time to help nobody. All we have time for is ourselves. We not gonna give up a Friday to babysit somebody's kids. We're not doing that, because we no longer have a village mentality. We no longer have a help. Listen, what did they say? You know what? Look, I keep them, but you got to pay me. Give me $20. You got to give me $20. I'll keep them. Give me $25. I don't got $20. That's why I'm going to the job interview. Well, I can't keep them. Y'all know it's people like that. Don't even act like you ain't heard that. If you a single parent, You know you done heard you being charged. Be like, dang, I got this really important interview to go to. I got you when I get on my feet. Y'all know that? Y'all know I'm not lying. Leo saying he was trying to get the job. That's great. Leaving the kids ain't. Again, I'm with you on that. I'm not saying that it was great, but I'm not throwing them. I'm not gonna throw them in jail. Pretty Tasha, you're saying facts on facts. It's women and men that act crazy when it comes to having kids. One is no better than the other. Absolutely. And the strain that we have. Cedric, you're saying don't drop the soap, ninja. Lock this. Cedric is locking this brother up. Cedric, you like, yep, Jay, yep. I heard you. I heard that big pothole of yours. I heard it. But I ain't going to lock him up. Leo, you're saying now the system gonna raise the kids. Leo, you're also saying, I hope he got the job. Okay, so, and then you're saying mother go through a lot. Yes. Cedric, you're saying when they're gonna charge some money to watch the baby kids. Y'all know they do. How many people honestly, when somebody calls and says, would you keep their kids, that they're not charging? See, I'm like, I always do my best to be mindful of that charging thing, because listen, I know how it is to be a young single mother. Thank God I had a great support system, because again, being a single mom, again, I blame nobody. Listen, I got in there. Listen, it was on and cracking. Ow, 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 baby. It was, listen, baby, we did what it did. But at the end of the day, one of us was there to do the raising physically. And I'm not gonna lie. I got a sizable and a nice amount of child support. I did. However, that did not negate the fact that, listen, when I got things to do, my family, they may not be available to, keep the kids, because people got kids of their own, responsibilities, all this other ish. I'm saying it's hard being a single parent. So, as being a single parent and knowing some of the challenges that I faced, I can say I understand his season of desperation. But it also makes me grateful for the village that I had. Because again, being faced with like, yo, I got a job interview. I really need this job. This is going to turn some things around. I can't even imagine how I would have felt if I would have got a no. Oh, I can't keep the baby because of this, because of that. Hey, Sister Tony, how you doing? She's saying, you teaching, ma'am. How you doing? But I couldn't imagine not having my family, not having a support system. So now I do my best, because I remember a lot of the times and a lot of the struggles growing up, having my son just coming through the ranks. And that was lesson enough. I saw that, listen, it can be a little sketchy. Listen, babysitters can be a little scarce. So I'm not going to go and add another one to the pile. And I already, listen, you're already getting the side eye. When you need some, you always need a babysitter, you're getting the side eye. So I said that was me. So that's me taking control of my fertility. Listen, because I told him, you got me once. One shot out the gate. I said, oh, this ish is not. Yeah. That act, the act was fun. But this parenting, this ain't no joke, because I can imagine him again going through. So again, y'all gonna throw him to the jail, but I'm not. So to further that, now I'm glad you said, I hope he got the job. I don't know if he got the job. However, a former NFL player has created a GoFundMe for this guy. They've created a GoFundMe for this guy, and so far it's raised almost $40,000 for him. So I'm happy that we are not tossing this father away. I'm happy that people are gathering around him and ushering him in, because again, this is not a situation that a father this is not a father that needs to be in jail. I know a whole bunch of them that need to be in jail. He's not an example of one that would need to be in jail. Now, would I suggest some parenting courses? Yes, I would. And also, listen, resources. Give me some child care options. Give me some child care vouchers. Help me help my kids. So again, see, y'all see, that's why I'm not jumping on the jail. We need resources. We need affordable, safe, good, clean child care providers that we can feel safe with leaving our children there. Because listen, let's be honest, some of these places, if you can't afford to pay top tier, your kids get, anybody is assigned to the classroom and you looking like, didn't I just see you stealing out the gas station the other day? But then they got them up in here watching your kids. Wait a minute. We have to do better. So it's like we need more. And I'm not confident in saying that we're gonna get it, because I already know what day and time we living in. So that's why we have to strap up and we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our babies. Again, I'm not gonna throw them in jail. But I would suggest some parenting courses, and I would suggest that him and the mother, they need to get it together and the family rally around him so that they can work out some co-parenting strategies, because, bruh, that wasn't it. Leaving them kids leaving them kids unattended at the McDonald's, that ain't it. A 10-year-old, maybe your mother left you in the house when you was 10 with all the kids. We living in a different time. These are some new kids, new people. That ain't gonna fly. Again, that 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, that could have, but I can already tell you, it was the 1-year-old that threw off the whole mix. It was the 1-year-old, because the 1-year-old them 1-year-olds get antsy, baby. They get the dashing through things, they get the crying and falling out and having tantrums, and baby, I can see that 1-year-old cut a rug. And that's why they got found out that they were there alone. And I need to find out for sure, was he even at the interview? He could have possibly been interviewing at McDonald's. But again, I hope that he is not. I hope that he gets out. I hope that the kids are not permanently taken from him. And I hope that he gets a chance to get some resources and get some things that would help him to be able to move around and get done what he needs to get done. Because again, it's so much stuff out here, but jail is not, in my opinion, jail is not the punishment for him. I think some parenting classes would suffice. And I mean, definitely a warning. If you do this ish again, yeah, we gonna come to lock you up. Leo, you're saying good to have family to help out. He shouldn't have done that. That's child neglect. I'm not even gonna go with the child neglect. I am not, because again, until you see and like just see, be able to see various situations. And again, I'm thankful, man, for the support system. But I've seen stories, I've heard stories. I know people that have left kids, for good reason. Now I'm like, look, that's too much. But listen, let's not act like this is our first time hearing about this. And like I said, let this story compel you that if somebody calls you and asks you to keep their kids, and it's for a good reason, let this story compel us to stop looking high, sitting high and looking low. Let this story compel us to start being our brother and our sister's keeper. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Come on for you. Self, good one, jump me for true. Come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Come on for you, hey. Let me tell you now, how the Congo girl, I'm up right through, wind up every tune, dancing in my blood, in the African way, got so much I can share, yeah. Congo girl, come on for you, self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, self me good one, jump me for true. Congo girl, come on for you, self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, hey. Spirit out on the run, can't talk what you don't know. Jump me so, that was so we go to warrior to me heart, vibrate like a jump from start. All the Congo no ma, the energy just like a work of art. Congo girl, come on for you, self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, self me do what jump me for true. Congo girl, come on for you, self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, hey. Ina go down low, ina go down low, so water give me some, ina go down low.
Welcome back to J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to our channel there. That's the J Spot Radio. Turn on the notification bells. Guys, we have so much content there. So much. Also, check us out on Facebook, the J Spot. Check us out on Instagram, the J Spot Radio. Guys, J is Jaye for all three. Hi, guys, it's me. Just me. Nothing special over here going on. What's sitting next to me, you all? We have Chandler.
Yeah.
Esthetician. Ooh. Mother of a group of cool dudes.
Hey, y'all.
And a little lady.
Missy Woo Woo.
Yes, Lord.
Missy Woo Woo. Little snaggle too.
Lady Lotus. How's it going?
It is going. I don't know. I feel like that kid that that Cat Williams had when he said they gave his kid the medicine and his kid was just sitting on the floor and he was like, son, what do you want to do? And his son was like, running. I just feel like running. And I'm so tired. I don't know. I'm tired.
Well, guys, listen, we have been having a great time. Listen, Lady Lotus, we got so many good hot topics. Now, look, I want to talk about her daughter real quick.
Woo!
Let me tell you, this girl, she came over my house. I had to tell her, I said, you know, you can put your purse down. I said, she holding her purse. I said, so you think I'm going to go in your purse?
What purse did she bring over there? That heart-shaped one?
Girl, it was some type of fur purse that
heart-shaped
one. That matched her.
Did she wear her faux coat?
Yes, she did. I'm like, she had a little perfume up in there. She's smelling so good. But I'm like, it was the purse for me. I'm like, she would not. It was just me and her. I said, you know, your purse is safe to sit down. She was like, she had it laying on.
That is an old lady.
I said, I'm okay.
That is an old lady right there.
I said, I don't know whether to do I look like I'm, well, you know, back in the day, you know, I did
You'll be offended.
Right, you know, how my hand and look. So maybe, you know, because kids, they can pick up the spirit. So maybe she did pick up the, you know what, she might end up having her hands up in my purse.
No, that's just that old lady and her purse. She got to have her purse. She got her little vanilla perfume stuff I buy her from Target because it's vegan and all that mess.
She came,
but she's something else. She said, "Mommy, I had so much fun with Miss J. Can I go back over there?" I was like, "No, because you're not gonna stop my friend from being my friend. No, you lucky you went over there that day, girl."
But I'm telling you, but I had my great nephew. That man took off running.
Was she there that day?
No,
Okay. I
had
was
them
to
a
say,
couple of
please don't tell me you had 2
No,
kids that day.
see, that's the thing about me, you all. See, so that's why again I can sympathize with this young man that left his kids in McDonald's because I can only watch one of them. I cannot do multiple kids at one time. I'm like, I don't have a favorite.
I need a recap because I got a phone call and I missed out on this whole kid McDonald's thing.
We could flip a coin on which kid come. I don't have favoritisms. We can flip a coin, but I'm not gonna be able to keep all like more than one kid because I only had one kid.
You only had one.
I only know.
Well, you can't say that because the 3 boys and I was at your house
right, but that was you.
But I didn't have to leave them. But you still had to deal with them. They still was there.
It's a difference.
We had so much fun.
We did. It's a difference though when I'm by myself and my tunnel. I need kids that my son didn't get it. Like, listen, you could easily do whatever it is that you needed to do because where you put him, he was staying right there. He wasn't gonna go and get into any. Listen, you put Teletubbies and Barney and the little it was another little cartoon Caillou. But I had to stop him from watching that because I said I'm gonna mess around and dislocate your shoulder if you sit up here and do some Caillou. The way Caillou. Do you remember Caillou?
I remember Caillou. I like Caillou. No. He wasn't as bad as Peppa Pig.
No, Caillou was gone. Caillou could get some child abuse charges.
He had a little bit.
No, Rosie, I can't. No, shut up, Rosie. I'm like, let me be Rosie. I would have knocked the water out of Caillou.
I like Caillou.
So I had to stop him from watching Caillou. I said because I can definitely see your shoulder. I can have your shoulder hanging like this because you say half of the stuff that Caillou's saying. I'm snatching you. But see, thankfully, I don't have to. I don't have to deal with that. Because he got snatched. A time or two. But these little people today.
If I tell that little girl one more time, hey, don't talk to me like that.
We're
at the and now she's starting to smack her leg. So it's like I'm getting on her nerve. I'm bothering her because I was like, hey, little mama, could you go clean up your room for me right quick? I was trying to do this. Wait, you're not 13 yet. You're not 14. You just 6.
She too cute. I can't be on your side. I'm sorry.
Ain't no cute.
I'm not gonna be able to. I'm telling you, I see you touching her.
Look, that's the second shirt. Ain't no cute.
If you touch, I see you touching her. I'm telling because she's too cute. So I'm gonna tell. So I'm not a good one. But listen, speaking of good ones, and today, look, life is just different. But what do you all think? And I know before people are saying, oh, this is their wedding. This is their special day. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can within reason. Like we got to do better. But I'll say this. So the next hot topic, young lady, it's their wedding. So she is dancing for her new husband. They are at the reception. Okay. They're at the reception. And she is dancing for her husband. And now her bridesmaids and all of them, I'm sending it to you, Lady Lotus.
Okay.
And the bridesmaids and everything, they're all dancing. The dress, first of all, let's talk about the dress. The dress that the young lady had on, it was no dress. It was some like beads or something in the front.
Is this the bride?
The bride. And then just butthole naked at the back. It was just I've never seen anything like it for a wedding. Now I have seen this is stripper hooker apparel. It is definitely stripper hooker apparel, but she wore that at her wedding, at the reception. So that's her.
Oh.
They broke down the bridesmaids were dressed just as bad. They was long, their gowns were long, but it was sheer and see-through. So they break out in a twerk fest and doing all of this, and you see everybody cameras out. And I'm just like, wow, like, where is the like, I don't know. What would you all think about that? How would you feel about being at a wedding and you're watching the bridal party, the young ladies break out into a strip routine, because that's exactly what they were doing. Baby, you see what that thing she got on? I don't know. See if you could drop it in the comments of Grown and Sexy and on the J spot.
Is there a video?
Yes, it's in the
it's in
Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. The video is in there. But if you look at that, like, you know, I like people to have a good time at their weddings. And I mean, this is not being a stick in the mud, but I'm just like, if I were to have been at that wedding or the reception, I know I would have left, because I would have felt uncomfortable. The way that they were dressed, and then the way that they broke out into a twerk routine, baby, all you saw was
cheeks. What was the husband doing?
See, he's sitting right there in the chair.
He looked like he enjoying it.
Oh, absolutely. He leaned back and he was like, yep. And I'm like,
well, you know, they say keep it fresh, baby. She keeping it fresh.
At the wedding.
That's her wedding.
What about the pastor? The preacher was there. What about your parents there? Your grandparents, aunties, uncles? His family is seeing this. Your family is seeing this. It was kids there, and you're doing this type of like. Bust them down. Listen, if you felt like that, listen, I wouldn't have been mad if y'all went and disappeared for an hour to handle that in the bathroom or whatever y'all got to do. Listen, we can't wait for the honeymoon. We finna break it off. Y'all got to wait. I'd have been okay with that. You won't hear nothing from me. But when it's too far.
When?
Like, I mean, when is enough? Like, where is, like, this word? Integrity. Like, we don't have that. Like, I can do whatever I want to do. It's my money and I paid for it, this and that. I'm just like, yes, Leo, butthole naked. And his friends are taking the pictures and recording and all of this other stuff. They're just doing everything. And I'm just like, wow, like, we really don't care. Like, I mean, she's a pretty little thing, but we don't care. I'm like, it's like anything is up for go.
Look like.
And people are saying,
don't matter what you wear,
man.
We don't care. No, we don't care, girl.
Well, what are your thoughts on just seeing that picture?
I mean, I want to see the video, but the picture alone, I do have that feeling of, you know, wear what you want to wear. It's your wedding, but the class went out the door, because that was something I feel like was your husband's personal view, unless they all strippers now. But
even if you are a stripper,
I'm just saying, if she's a stripper, that's her life and that's what she do, and she wanted her life at her wedding. But if you got, well, her mama and her daddy know she a stripper, her kids know she a stripper, everybody know she a stripper. But you see the dudes back here, like,
yes, they're recording. Yes,
like that's your wife.
Yes, and she did not spare any. Like, the show was the show.
So for me personally, that would have been our wedding night or our honeymoon. Back it up. Like, baby, let me show you what you ain't been getting. Let me show you. Let me do this handstand for you. But at the wedding, in front of my parents, in front of my friends, like in front of his friends, no, we're not doing that. Because I definitely won't want my man coming out with his G-string on doing that.
Kiana is saying there is no decorum and no respect for the sanctity of marriage. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Kiana. No respect whatsoever. I'm just like, respect yourself. Like I say, if this what you want to do when y'all got out there to the beach or wherever your honeymoon or whatever y'all was gonna do, baby, if you wanted to even go out there on the island and this is how you want to do when you listen, baby, rock it out. But at the wedding ceremony, at the reception,
well, that's the reception. You know, I'm I'm not against what they want to do. Just I'm gonna say it, for me, that is not classy. That is private bedroom, me and my husband, me and my man. I couldn't even be a stripper if you asked me to. I don't care how hard times was getting.
Well, I'm not even gonna say I couldn't, because you know what? Listen, look.
This little scary heart of mine would have been like, I don't even like him looking at me.
Listen, ain't no punk. Something. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. Ain't no punk nowhere in me. Ain't no punk. Listen, it wasn't no punk in me yesterday.
This all you gonna see right here is this. You go get a little boobie. Then everything else is covered up. If my legs is out, you ain't getting no boobie. I'm like on the Cosby Show where she said I give a little shoulder and she took it right back.
I just remember back in the day, the whole now I'm like, okay, listen, I done had my time to have the hooker apparel on, the whole boots and stuff.
That was one summer. No,
I done had some hooker.
I only had one summer.
I done had some hooker apparel.
I still ain't. That's okay. The bucket just got pulled out.
What bucket?
The throwback bucket. The throwback bucket of Lady Lotus and Lady Jaye will be posting pictures. I'm gonna have this throwback Thursday in for those pictures. If you want to see them, though, you're gonna have to follow.
And y'all gonna have to come to YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna have to video them on YouTube. And post them on one of them videos.
Yeah. And so if y'all want to see our throwback,
you're gonna have to come
of the hooker days. Listen, y'all can go to YouTube and like and subscribe to Jaye Spot Radio, Jaye. Lady Lotus will be posting throwback of
throwback when I tell you days at the River West.
When I tell you the hooker apparel was real,
it was a slow roll for me though. It was, because my first little outfit, the skirt covered all the way down to my knees, and I had the thigh high boots. Yeah. That good old Madison at Pulaski hooked me. Not Madison at Pulaski. I was shopping on North Avenue at Pulaski.
Wait, remember when they was having the patent leather boots?
That's what I had. I had them Mary J. Blige Not Gonna Cry boots on. I had that what was them two girls? Jaye. I had the Jaye boots on.
I had
It Was a Sad Day and Sweet November boots on.
I had where was the
we had the little chunky. That's when Chunky Heels was in style.
No, it was a club. What was the club where they did the lockdowns out south?
I don't know nothing about that.
Darn it, where was they doing the Mr. G's? What they, y'all know how the girls dressed up in Mr. G's? That's the stuff that I used to have on back in.
And it's messed up because I purchased them little hoochie mama clothes from Rainbow. Listen. I had the little skirts, y'all. I told y'all this before. We had the little purses, and I would go to work, and I would get off work and go to Jaye house, and we would get ready to go out. And it got to the point where my clothes, I was like so shy, so nervous. Like self-esteem was just like, we're not doing this. And it ain't that I thought I was ugly. It was just I've never had that like put my whole body out there.
Oh, I've never been a
now I do it too. Remember, I love my little tube tops, but I always had a jacket. Man, when I tell y'all that little skirt folded up in the purse and the little tube top shirt folded up in the purse, had a couple of them.
I'm tell you, I can just be honest with you. I have never been a stranger to. Listen, but that was before.
I was so skinny and not needed.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I had the show out. As soon I thought I was something when I had my son, and then I had a little shape because listen. We was some little twig. We was some little somethings. But now, bada bing and bada bang, woo, baby. Let me say something.
I still can't twerk, but it's back there now. I got to look.
Back that thing up. But see, now I can't back it up because you know what? It may get stuck in that position. You know what I'm saying? My back, I may end up needing 3 sessions of physical therapy.
I cannot.
Sitting up in here trying to back it up and drop it like it's hot. But I'm going to tell you this. Okay? I was never a stranger to no hooker apparel. I was not stranger.
That's why you always talking about your hooker hair.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Listen, me and hooker vibes, we are not strangers. So when I say this stuff, I'm not judging nobody because listen, I know I had my ways.
What? See, at first, when you first showed me the video, I was like, well, maybe she doing the wang dong, wang dong, wang dong, wang maybe she doing the Bali dancing or something. But you see, all
I can say
is struggling so hard to find this video, and
all
I'm gonna find it.
I'm so thankful that we did not have social media out.
Blessings.
The Lord loveth, because the foolishness that was going on that west side, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yes, you are free to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Dances. Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just thankful. Like I had too much personality for this social media stuff back in it. You see the video?
I don't, but I just found the Muslim lady dancing on the stripper pole at her wedding.
I had too much personality.
I can't find it.
Back in the day I wouldn't have survived social media. I can tell you like that. I wouldn't have survived social media. So I'm thankful, and I'm just always so thankful that, I never went to the Freaknik, because I wouldn't knew how to act down there.
I would have just got in trouble for drinking, because I
didn't drink.
I hung out with the crew that paid the crackhead on the corner to go in the liquor store and get our Cisco for us.
See, I'd have been in trouble because of the videos being upside down on the cars and all that. See, I would have got in trouble for some, and then you wouldn't have no excuse, because I didn't drink back then either, so I couldn't have been drunk. So you just gonna go out there and show your whole natural behind. Well, it wasn't my whole behind. It was just half. It was just a cheek. Wasn't the whole behind. It was just a cheek. Sure? Before you then you get this, you get this type of stuff from, because listen, Sister Vance wasn't gonna be playing that. So I'm thankful that I never got a chance to go to the Freaknik.
We would have been in so much trouble.
Yeah.
We would have been under juvenile jails just because our parents and grandparents and everybody else took us up there for shaming and embarrassing the family's name. And the family name is already crazy for Cuckoo Puffs, but we just took it to the next level and shamed the crazy name for being a hoochie outside. This is what you doing in your free time.
They over here, they trying to send me off over here.
What they say?
Leo is saying, "Oh yeah, bada bing and bada bang." Yes. Cedric saying, "Stand up and percolate."
No.
Leo saying, "You still got it, Jay. All the right curves and all the right." Listen, I got a little extra.
You want me to tell you what bada bing? Let me tell y'all right quick what bada bing and bada bang used to be called. Bada bing and bada bang was Slim Chest Mike.
I'm telling
you, that's how bad it was. Every time that boy, we used to come up to that, go Slim Chest Mike. I used to want to fight him so bad, but I knew y'all was friends.
My friend, because that's why I'm like, when I had my son, that's when I got curves. But before I had my son, I'm like, there was like nothing going on for my body. I think I had a little bump for a little booty, just a little booty.
Now see, I'm gonna roll this back. You've always had a nice shape.
Okay.
Like you still have that shape. It was never too much, never too little. You've always had a nice shape. Just was nothing going on. It just wasn't nothing going on up here. Now, me on the side of you, I was a part of the itty bitty titty committee, the itty bitty booty committee, the semi bow leg. Like I ain't really had nothing going on.
Yes, you had a little booty too.
I had a little booty, dude.
But anyway, you didn't have no.
No, I did. I don't pancake it.
Right, you don't have no.
It was a little. It wasn't even a handful. It was a palm full. It was just a little palm. It was right there. It was cute. It was real cute. See, my claim to fame was that little curve in my back. That little curve with a little dip. That's what I got. The little curve and the little dimple in the bit. I didn't have no breasts. I didn't have none of that. And then, of course, a couple of kids later,
baby, you be like,
I got a little bit of something.
I'm like, I have arrived.
I have arrived.
You can't say nothing.
Now, y'all get Lady Lotus 2 months. Come on, give me 2 months. I'm about to start going so hard on y'all.
Can't say nothing to me. We done came on up in there, shimmy.
I don't even want none of this. I was perfectly fine.
You see,
with my A cup and my size small panties. I was perfectly fine. Now it's hot. Now you got to throw stuff over your shoulder. You got to put powder and deodorant on up under there. You got to lift your cheeks up and wipe back there because it's sweating. It's just hot.
Baby, I'm telling you, I had to change the type of underwear I wear, because baby, this Cookie Monster for a booty right here will not be eating no thongs up this summer. I'm telling you, I'm on the straight and narrow now.
She said I'm on the straight and narrow.
I am on the straight and narrow, but like I said, I can understand, No judge, so it's no judgment and no coming from a stuffy like they just saying that because they baby listen. We listen. I can recognize hooker spirit. I recognize it when I see it. I'm like, yeah, this brother finna have a time. But you know what? He seemed like they may be the swinging type couple.
Oh, he was loving that baby.
They may be all right.
He loved every minute.
They might be all right. Now listen. Speaking of, they might be all right, and this might be
looking for this video.
This might be half of the reason. But why do you all think? Why aren't women being asked out anymore? Why are men not asking women out anymore? What do you all think about that? Why are men not asking women out anymore? Why? Because again, it's so. Oh geez, it's like this today's society is just it's for foolishness. I'm just gonna be honest. It's foolery out here. But fellas, why are men not asking women out? Are women just too do you all feel like women are just too delusional these days? Do you all feel like women are expecting too much from men and that, they're expecting too much, but you guys don't feel like you're getting anything in return? Talk to us. Tell us, why are men not asking women out as much as they used to? Why? Wait, Leo is saying you can still drop it like it's hot until them knees cut out on you. You're doggone right, Leo. The knees, listen, the knees prevent the heels and all of this other stuff. So I have to stay humble. Now, Pretty Tasha is saying, because they don't want to make time. They are just lazy. What do you think about that, Lady Lotus? Why do you think that some men are not asking women out as much as they used to?
I think we starting to get pushed up in a group the same way we used to say all men ain't nothing. I think, these little chickadees is making it bad for good women. The tables have turned. And now they don't want to ask us out because they worried and they scared. And she just want my money. She just want my food for dinner and all this other stuff. And I don't think we make life easy for them. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't really think in this day and age of where we are now, everything is so difficult. Everything is so hard. We're overthinking, and I just would think we making life hard for them.
I just think that we are in a different place. I think that we're in a place where it's so much. We're so combative with each other that we don't really even see each other anymore. Like, men don't really we don't see the value in each other anymore. That's what we don't see the value in each other. We don't see the value in love. We don't see the value in marriage. We don't see the value in relationships. We don't see the value in partnerships. Cedric is saying because they're not required anymore. It's too easy and upfront. Absolutely. Everything is out there. Leo is saying because that's lame now, I guess. They just want some money and some lipstick. They don't like to get courted no more.
See?
And I think that's some of that's definitely some of it too. And Pretty Tasha is saying, well, and hold on, it just went out real quick. Okay. Well, in my opinion, that is the vibe I'm getting from them. Leo is also saying, I still ask women out, Jay. But that's good. You definitely have to keep the lines open. But again, I think it's more than it's more than that. I just really feel like the reason why it's not happening is because there's no value. Sort of like piggying back to what Cedric was saying. Everything is too upfront. It's too easy. Like there's no women are being so it's like we're living in a you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't type society. Don't let a woman say, oh, she not trying to sleep with you on the first night. Oh, baby, you may as well get prepared to have been reamed a new one. Then if you give it up on the first night, she a H. If you don't give it up, she playing games. What's she playing games for? It ain't like she ain't never did it before. You too old to be waiting for this. Okay, what the? Somebody feeling some cuss words. Like, what is it that you want?
I feel like, not to cut you off, but I feel like that's little boy games. I don't feel like a grown man over, let's just say, the age of 35 is sitting up here having.
No, if he are.
Well, I personally still feel like he's the little boy. Like, grow up, and why would you even want to put yourself go on a date with somebody like that? Like, I feel like there's some awesome men out here and some awesome women out here, and I think we be the poor souled women and the poor souled men. It's just like they need their own continent.
The low vibrating, they do.
Y'all go over there and y'all deal with all your stuff over there, because if you're not growing up and hitting grown and sexy by now, so you could get married and fall in love, or if you don't want to get married, have a relationship, it's something wrong.
It truly is.
You shouldn't be scared of a woman or a man at this age. Why are we scared of each other? We done lived through worse things in life.
Because there's no value for each other. We don't respect each other. We don't value each other. We don't value commitment. We're not valuing relationships. We don't value love. We don't value any of that. It's like everything is just a big game. Like, I'm gonna see what I can get out of this person, and then I'm gonna drop them, and then I'm gonna go to the next person and get whatever I want to get out of them. And that's either men or women, whatever it is that you want. And it's always something physical or something superficial, I should say. It's always something
tangible,
that they're looking for, but nobody is really looking for. Are women really looking to be courted anymore? Are women really looking to go out on a date? Or are you,
my circle is,
having these unrealistic expectations on where a man should be taking you on the first date? I think that we've gotten so caught up in, oh, well, he can't take me over here. If he ain't taking me here, then we ain't going, boom, we ain't going to. I'm like, oh, ma'am, just stifle yourself with all that.
Yes.
I cannot. Like, my thing is this.
It's like, standards are okay, but are your standards realistic? And if your standards are realistic for you, can you do the same thing? Which I will get that. If you feel like I got to go to 5-star restaurants, and it's because you take yourself to 5-star restaurants, and you could take that man to 5-star restaurants, and you just want a man in the same caliber as you, that is amazing. But don't be sitting up here on Section 8 with 10 kids in your house talking about, he got to take me to the steakhouse.
In that order.
That don't match.
Like, it really.
The math ain't mathing, ma'am.
It's really not matching. Pretty Tasha is saying, exactly, Sister Jaye. It's you're darned if you do, and you're darned if you don't. You're doggone right about that. And Leo is saying, you right. It is no more respect anymore. Hey, Peterson, how you doing? Cedric is saying, you could tell a boy anything. A grown man can see through the BS. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Leo is saying, yes, that's exactly right, Jay. No respect, no value, no morals, none of that. It's like we have all that has been lost. Like, for first, like, this is just how, like, I was telling somebody the other day, I said, you have to, again, you got to take the time to talk. We have all this technology where we're big texters, but if you simply spend a little time talking to somebody, you can feel them out. And I say this all the time, especially for the men. The quickest way to save your money and to not waste your time and not be one of these dudes on here that's screaming she all she wanted to do was go out for a meal, pick up the phone and have a conversation with her. And you can see exactly what you're dealing with, and then go from there and see, do we want to go to the next step and have a date? Because if the conversation is garbage over the phone, why would I go out with you? This is what was happening back in the day. We talking on the phone, like, yeah, okay, we got good conversation, good vibe. Let's go out. That's right. The next step. But we're forgetting we forgetting the first step. We're just texting.
To me, the first step is when you gave me your phone number. We started filling each other out in that moment. How did you approach me? What did you say to me? What was her response back to you? Oh, okay, I like you. Then we passed out that phone number. Now, I do get in this day and age, because I like the way I was courted. I was asked every step of the way, is it okay, for me to give you a call? But even when I gave my phone number, it was, hey, is it okay if I call you now? Because we text for a little bit. But even through that texting, okay, I like you. You making me laugh. Okay, yeah, I want to hear you. I want to, go ahead and talk to you on the phone. And then from there, it rolls into good morning or good night or have a nice night or have a good day at work. And it's supposed to gradually keep going up if we like each other further and further.
So Leo is saying they standards too high because the way my bank account set up. Okay, and Pretty Tasha is saying, and then if you go approaching and looking, you get called desperate. If you're not looking and letting others approach you, you told and letting others approach you, you're getting told what you waiting on. You better get out there and get it. Leo also says, I'm a big text master. Laughing my butt off. Cedric is saying conversation. Absolutely. It's just like, again, to me, I think that that's what the missing piece is. Like, everything is so automated. And again, I'm not opposed to text messages. I'm really not. But the biggest way, in my opinion, I think that you get to know a person is having a conversation. Because again, with that conversation, when you text messaging, you could text and then it could be a lag. I can go off and do something else and and come back and answer it. Like, I think text messages are more for asking questions.
Don't even ask me a question.
To have a conversation.
If you ask me a question, Jay, I talk too much. I cannot figure out how to make my conversation that I need to answer your question short. And don't ask me no question. Text messages are for, hey, how you doing? Exactly. Don't even ask me what I'm doing. You can ask me how I'm doing.
Don't tell me about yourself. You will never get a response from ever.
Never.
So you wouldn't have to never worry about taking me out. You don't.
Only question you gotta ask me on the date is, are you free to talk? Can I give you a call?
Exactly. So I think that that's a big thing. But then to piggyback with what Leo was saying, some women's expectations are way too high, ma'am. Like, you are, and I never understand that. Like, if you serious about a guy, like, again, go out at your budget, date your budget. Like, if you know that your budget is a certain 5-star restaurant, okay, I'm okay with that. But if you dating a dude or going out with a dude with a 2-point or 3-point star restaurant, if you're not paying at that 5-star restaurant, then you got to come down and meet him where he at.
Now, Jay, we could still go to 4.5 stars. They not that much money. I frequent them a lot.
If he's not, but if his
budget ain't steak money, steakhouse budget.
If his budget ain't with the expensive, whatever the expensive bottles of champagne and wine or whatever the expensive liquors and stuff, and you know that you coming out of there and you know that bill gonna easily, and this ain't even rich, but for most of us, $300, $400,
that is too much money for a date. You gotta, if you want to date a man that's up there, then you need to go in places where those men are.
Exactly.
You can't sit up here and be with little Ray that work around the corner, at I was about to say Burger King, but I ain't even gonna do little Ray like that.
And then get mad.
But you can't get mad if he can't afford your lifestyle that you wish you had. It's not even a lifestyle that you have. It's the lifestyle you wish you had.
Facts. And I just think that it's so unfair. Like, again, we gotta bring it back down to just let's get to know each other. So, like, I think that a first date, like let's get to know each other. Like, I'm not mad. Like, if you pick something, I'm not a big coster. Like, oh, it gotta cost this amount of money, it gotta cost that amount of money. I'm not that type of person, but I do look at the thought. Are we doing something fun? Are we doing something different? Like, when men ask me, what do I want to do? My response is always, what you haven't done with somebody else.
I like that.
That's what I always respond. Wherever you haven't done with somebody else, that's what I want to do. If you went to this restaurant over here with somebody else, I don't want to do it. I want us to create our own great memory. So that's always my answer. Whatever it is that you haven't done with somebody else, what do you want to do? So then I put the ball back in his court, because I'm extra, but I'm simple. I'm a simple kind of extra. Like, I don't drink, I don't eat red meat and all this other bull junkie, but I can pretty much get around and maneuver wherever it is that I go. So if we go to a steakhouse, they got cranberry juice there, they got salads there, they got, but when you're talking to me, if you listen, I'm gonna tell you all I don't eat red. I'm gonna tell you those things. You're gonna see my favorite thing is coffee. We can go to the big coffee chain. It's amazing downtown on Michigan. Oh my Lord.
I'm so sick of you in
that Starbucks. It's like 7 floors.
I'm so sick of you in that oh my God, I hate that Starbucks.
It's 7 floors. It is amazing. We can go there every day of the week.
Line on every floor.
And just go to every floor. Okay, Monday we can go to the first floor. Tuesday we can go back and go to the second floor. Wednesday the third floor. But you know what?
That's a date once a week. If you think about it, we ain't gotta go every day. If you went to take her every week, that's 7 dates already.
And it's
in the same place. And if you paying attention, then you already on this. If you paying attention about a third day, you should be like, I ordered your stuff for you already.
And you already, and that's the thought that counts.
Now, if you was to take this girl to a steakhouse, that means you're not listening
at all.
Because I told you I don't eat red meat
at all.
It's the paying attention, it's the listening, it's the small things that count. And if that chick is acting over the top, like, I don't want to do this, guess what, buddy? She not the one for you, and you're not gonna change it. If she's, what do you call them? High maintenance. If she's like over the top. Because not even just to put it on them. If she's like over the top, high maintenance, and you're not about to keep up with her maintenance, just keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
And because she going to say, you got to get my hair did. You got to get my eyelashes did. And you got to get my nails did and my toes did. And I need a massage. And I only like the massages when they walk on your back.
I'm like, if you are not maintaining, listen. And again, don't get me wrong, because I want to make it clear. Men do these things, ladies, for women that they want to. You don't have a man that's feeling you. You ain't gotta ask him for jack. He's gonna do it. You don't have to tell him he gotta do. He's going to do it. If you are the chick he's checking for, he's gonna do it.
You think that's a turn off for men to hear a woman say, I want this, I want that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that?
I think it just depends on the dude.
I feel like if I was a dude and I was like, I just feel like if I was a dude and you're not allowing me to be the man to do certain things, I wouldn't like it. It would turn me off because you constantly. I want to go. I want to.
The dry bag and stuff. I'm just like, look. I'm like, I've never had to ask a man for money ever. I've never had to ask for money. I've never had to ask for things, and I've gotten a lot of stuff. But I never
I will put my birthday wish list out there. I will say that I am going to give you my birthday wish list, my Mother's Day wish list. I'm going to tell you my wish list. Now, you ain't got to keep up with the wish list, but you getting my wish list.
I'm simple. Don't bring me no chocolate. Don't bring me no bananas. Don't bring
chocolate.
I hate
white chocolate.
I despise. I am not a chocolate eater.
That the cutest thing that I think is the sweetest thing ever was him finding out that I think it's the Pixies from Fannie Mae. I like the ones with just the pecan and the caramel. And them things ain't cheap, okay?
No, they're not.
For one holiday, I just got a whole box full of them. I guess he told them, stuff the box. So I already knew that right there was a pretty penny. But you just came with all, I didn't need nothing else. You just gave me a box of my favorite candy. The smallest things of listening to, I love purple, I love hearts. So those things, but I'm he do really good at gifts, but I'm still gonna say I do put my wish list out there. Don't be offended. I do. You ain't gotta buy what's on my wish list, but use it as a guide.
Now, Kiana is saying big facts. Matter of fact, a real woman maintains her own hair, nails, etc.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of all this maintaining and you asking and you needing all this stuff, if you are not already self-sufficient
and independent,
are you really marriage material? If you come and every time you go out somewhere, you got your hand out, are you really ready to be somebody's missus? If you always in a bind and you ain't got a little extra to spend on a date here, you ain't got, are you really ready to be married? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Are you really marriage material? So I want to talk about that. What makes a person, in your opinion, Lady Lotus, what makes a person marriage material? Well, let's start with the men. What would make a man marriage material?
I mean, the material thing for me is just being able to be a partner, being on both sides of the table. Like if the man is up taking care of everything and he falls down, can you come behind him and pick up where he's falling at? And this is because this is a potential husband. You know, if he break his leg, are you self-sufficient to be able to take up? Can you handle your emotions and your feelings? You don't think people is cheating, like you just ready to be 100% and not that 50-50 crap. The marriage material is the mindset to me. You know, are you ready mentally to take on becoming a one with someone else?
And would that be, so is that for both men and women?
I mean, for me, things go both ways. I'm not really into the, oh, women shouldn't do this and men shouldn't do this, because we both have roles and we know our roles and we're ready to come in and take on the roles within the marriage. Now, like you said, if this person is not prepared, you know, financially, she can't do this, she can't do that, she all over the place and whatever, then I'm not gonna say she's not marriage material. I would say that you're just not ready for marriage. That's a difference to me of being ready for marriage to being material. If you cheating, you ain't done sowing your royal oats, no, you're not ready for marriage. You're not marriage material to me, because you still out here cheating. And just because you turned down your cheating sword yesterday don't make you marriage material today.
So for me, so like when I think of marriage material, like another question that would like come to mind is like, because you see this out here now on social media where they're saying, if you're a single mother, then you're not marriage material because you gave a man something that should have only been saved for your husband.
I'm offended.
So for that, you're not marriage material. What do you all think about that? Because
I'm offended.
They're like, oh, so how you gonna sit there? Oh, now you got standards now, but you didn't have no standards for that dude that you gave them kids to, and you got a baby, and now you want to have some standards.
I am offended.
What would you say about that to people that think that way, to say that, you know what, if a woman has a kid out of wedlock, she's not marriage material?
So I'm assuming that the person that feels that way is a virgin and he ain't never slept with nobody, because that's the only way that your reasoning is valid, that you saving yourself for your wife and that you would prefer that your wife ain't slept with nobody. Because other than that, you don't, it's not valid. You can't sleep with everybody you want to sleep with and then come over here and tell me I ain't marriage material.
So what they're saying is like, yeah, and that's what they were saying. So, and then the same thing would be for men that had kids that are baby daddies. But again,
it's
the
same
women
thing to
really
me.
get the brunt of the bull junkie. It be the women. So you see on these popular talk shows where, oh, well, I only date women if you ain't had no kids. Then I'm like,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Like I don't feel like you're wrong. A man is wrong for feeling or not choosing to date a woman that has kids.
That's his standard.
Exactly.
He's okay with that.
But what I have a problem is where you're trying to diminish the value of a woman because she had kids, whether it be out of wedlock or being married or she's widowed, she's a mom. That's the part. Like, oh, well, I'm going to look and see. Well, if she had kids out of wedlock, then that's a big difference. And that's a valid point. I'm not saying, listen, kids ideally should be had in marriage. That would be the ideal. Like, that's the ideal. That's the way the original goal was. But
kids been had before marriage since a baby was born. The first baby was born out of wedlock.
So with that being said, again, so when you thinking of marriage material, and are you really marriage material? What do you all think about that statement? Are women that have kids out of wedlock, are they not marriage material? Are men that
tell your mama
are
she
men
ain't
that
marriage
have kids
material because she had you
out of wedlock, are they marriage material? What do you all think about that? Because for me, when I think of marriage material, I think that it's really hard for me to say, okay, if a person is marriage material or not. And here's why I would say that. Because everybody like different things. Everybody need different things. So what works for me may not work for you. What works for sir, your needs over here, you may have a man over here that is well into his 40s, that don't have no kids, probably fought off prostate cancer in his 20s, can't have no kids, but he would love to be a father. So he would be glad to scoop this woman up that got kids because he can't have. So would it be fair to say, oh, well, she's not marriage material?
Well, you know what they gonna
she's
call
not
him?
For you.
They gonna call him a dummy. He a simp. He dumb.
Right.
I ain't finna be taking care of no other woman kids. That's why you over there lonely by yourself, counting your dollars by yourself.
Because again, with this type being marriage material, everybody's ideal and what they want is different. Just like when we saw the picture with the wedding, it may not be, that's not a style that I would choose,
but
and
if that's
I would
what
choose,
they like it, baby.
And they were both on one accord with that. He wasn't looking at her like, oh, what's she doing? But
he was in it.
But for a more conservative person, she probably would not be the match for him.
Right.
So it's like, I believe that everybody is marriage material to somebody. It might not be to you, but everybody is marriage material because everybody desire something different. Every man don't desire a woman that, oh, well, I'm just gonna listen. Like this brother right here, he wants some clapping at her cheeks. He wanted her to put that.
He wanted something seasoned.
He
don't
wanted
be
that
messing
in his
up
face.
Our seasoning.
He wanted that. He probably he don't want the chick that just go out and she gonna be that stiff as a board. He would cheat.
He went to get some seasoning.
Right. So
you know what? That other brother just mad because he messed around with that lady who had some kids and she went back to her baby daddy. That's why he mad.
And that happens
all of us ain't like that. We don't trailblaze back, do we, Jay?
There's the blade. Listen, you know how many
the
years of ice done,
baby.
How many years of ice done went over?
The day we walked out was the last day he seen me. I don't care how many kids I got by him. I bet you he'll testify she ain't never let me touch her again.
Like Leo is saying, I have dated women with kids and women with no kids. Cedric is saying the physical and financial ish comes and goes, but who you are 24/7, 365. Pretty Sasha is saying facts. Cedric is also saying complete me mentally and spiritually. I'm a Capricorn and I call it like I see it.
Cap.
Again. everybody has different things and different needs.
I want you to balance me.
So absolutely. Balance so just because, listen, I need somebody that's gonna be a little bit sane, because when I get out here a little bit, but you got to understand it and be like, just grab my arm. Come on, baby. Let's come on.
Cause see, to shut it down.
She gone, cause it's like
I'm gonna need you to quit talking to her right now, sir.
I'm gonna need you to come on and just come on. We gonna come on over here. She need a nap. You need.
You need her coffee,
right? She need this, but everybody's needs are different. So again, I think that everybody is marriage material. You just got to find your person that's going to.
Your materials match.
Because you can have,
oil and water don't match.
Because if she's materialistic and he's materialistic, then guess what? That's a match. Now listen,
I don't think that's a match, because both of them gonna be spending up all the
they're gonna be. They may be in a poorhouse.
You gotta balance it
unless they can find it. If you can afford it, then knock yourself out. But I would say the couple that I know that's gonna struggle is those that can't save, and then I think a saver and a spender. That there may be some challenges there. A saver and a spender. I don't know. I think I can see that as being a challenge.
Saver. We all right.
I can see that being some challenges, because if you always wanting to spend you want to give your last, spend your last to go keep up with the Joneses, and I'm like, we got ish that we trying to get accomplished.
See, I ain't that kind of spender,
right. So that's what I'm talking about.
But that's where the balance comes in there, because if you respect that person and you love what that person is bringing to you, and you change in my spending ways, then come on.
But see, I think he found a man. I think he found a man that's gonna let him do that. He found the man.
All right, and with that being said, have a good night, peace, love, and hair grease.
He found a man that was gonna let him spend all he wanted to spend.
I wasn't ready. I'm turning it off.
He found a man, so that's all it is. So you have to find whoever is going to be.
Good night.
Whoever gonna be for you. You got to find whoever's gonna be with you.
And he found him.
And he found him, and he gave it to him, and he let him do it. That ain't right. He let him do it, and there you are. So don't let nobody tell you, because of whatever circumstances and situations you have, that you are not marriage material.
Please pray for Miss Jaye and her ministries, y'all.
Yes, please do.
Because I feel a phone call coming after that one.
You are definitely marriage material. You just have to find the person that is searching for you, and there is someone out there that is looking for you. You are perfect for someone just the way you are. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, follow us there, turn on the notification bell. That's the J Spot Radio. Go to Facebook, follow us there, the J Spot, Instagram, the J Spot Radio. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other.
Peace out.
Good night, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.